Ted.
Hi.
Can you tell me the story about when Mommy and Daddy got engaged? When Daddy asked me to marry him? You can take a minute to think about it and think of the story. Take your time. Remember when Daddy asked me to marry him?
At a park, there was there was canoes, and you could row a boat there, and Chris and Katie took one, and they rowed across the river, and Daddy kept on saying, "I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you," and then Mommy was like, "I know I love you," and then he kept on saying that, and then he standed on one knee, and he gave Mommy the ring, and then after that they got engaged, and they called everybody.
Why do we call everybody?
Because you got engaged.
And what does that mean?
That you're going to have a baby.
Yeah. That's great.
And I'm a pirate.
And you're a pirate? Barry, do you remember the story about when Mommy and Daddy met?
No.
When we first met? You don't remember that story?
No, it was about.
Do you remember that first story, Teddy?
What?
Remember Mommy went to a bar with one of her friends and Daddy went to a bar with one of his friends in New York City? Yeah, this is the story you know, when we first met, when Mommy and Daddy... Okay, so Mommy went to a bar with one of her friends in New York City, and Daddy went to that very same bar with one of his friends, and then what happened?
And then you saw each other, and you looked at each other like you liked each other, and then they had dinner and drank a little wine or some beer or some alcohol, or you know, some beer, some you know, and then her friend left, and Daddy's friend left, and Daddy, and the next night Daddy saw Mommy with another guy who was like he likes her, but Mommy doesn't like him. So Daddy says, maybe I should do this. Yeah. And then Daddy went, and then Daddy went up and he made the guy get away, and the guy's like, "What? Is this your girlfriend?" And he and then that night they kissed the whole entire night. Wait, no, the whole night. And then the next day, Daddy said, "Can you give me my phone number?" He asked Mommy, and she told him her phone number, and then he said, "Okay, I'll call you tomorrow morning." And then the next morning, he lost his phone and he left it in the taxi, so he couldn't call her. And Mommy was like, "Why didn't he call me? He said he would call me." And then she said, "I guess he doesn't like me." But then after that, he remembered where the party is, and he remembered where the party is, and he said, "It's Friday night. Okay, I'll be there Friday night." and then he got to the party, and then he got to a party, and then when the party was over, the next night they kissed the whole entire night and had beer.
And had beer. The end.
The end.
Right?
Can I take my pants
Good story.